Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in the last episodes we already did some things: quick line, fuel disconnects, tank removal, battery installment, air filter, and in this episode we are gonna refit the brake lines. So this bike has still the old rubber brake lines from 27 years ago. They're still kinda good, but I would not vouch for that. That's why we are gonna fit the Spiegler steel lines today. So Stahlflex for the people from Germany. So let's go. So guys, my helper is there again, and we're gonna fit this Spiegler brake lines today. There are 5 lines to fit on the whole bike, and we'll have a look in a moment where to fit them. This is how the set looks like. This is the article number, and it has a German ABE, Allgemeine Betriebserlaubnis, so that's from Ministry of Transport, I think. It's not just TÜV certified, it's actually has a green light from the transport authorities. So then we will need also our new brake fluid, the .4. Take care that it's .4. There are also a lot of washers in the set, so let's have a look where we need to fit them. And I have this thingy here in order to suck out all of the old brake fluid. So let's start with that. So first thing you want to do is to access the brake fluid reservoirs. There's one here in the front, and there's also one in the back behind this thing here. I hope you can see it. So, and this one is actually broken on my bike, so it's fixed with a zip tie, so I need to undo the zip tie here. So let's clip the zip tie. Yeah. So that's the second brake fluid reservoir. Brembo. This one is from Brembo, and this one here is, funny enough, from Magura. So, or Magura, I think it's Magura. And it's saying made in West Germany, which is quite funny. The bike is produced 98, but they still had the molds for West Germany. So let's go and open up the reservoirs. This is just like this. And be careful, there will be some spilling, I think, and this stuff is a bit corrosive, so you have to take care it's not spilling anywhere. So there's like a membrane here. Check that the membrane is also intact and okay. This one looks good. Yeah. This one looks good. No holes, nothing. So, and actually the brake fluid also looks quite good. So then let's go and open up this one. Need another screwdriver. This one is not so good. So let's grab the screwdriver from here. So the original BMW screwdriver from 27 years ago. So people say you can take apart the whole bike with this included tools. So let's see how that works. So let's try it out. Yeah, this is much better. Funny enough, this reservoir is the same as on all of the newer bikes, so it's like square. And on my bike, on the F800, there is like a round thingy that is bobbling around all the time like a bobblehead. So I don't know why they did it this way, but I like it as a square much better. So, made in West Germany and still going strong. So let's have a look if it will spill anything. So let's remove it carefully. Yeah, there is also like a membrane or something in here. So that's how it looks like. So yeah, actually quite a good condition as well, but the brake fluid doesn't look so good. So time for replacement. So now I got this thingy. I still have it from the brake fluid change on my old bike. So then let's just suck out all of the stuff here. So you just push it like that and you suck out all of the fluid. So I spilled a bit of the fluid, so I hope it's okay. So now the reservoir is empty and actually looks quite good. So yep, I have like a bottle here from SodaStream, and I'll put all of the old fluid in there. So that's just the initial brake fluid removal actually, because there is much more in the system, but you need to remove first what is in this reservoirs. So let's drain the rest. So there are drain holes in here. One, two, and in the back as well. 3. So this cap, don't lose it. So we are gonna drain first at the calipers, and then later on we will drain it here. So there are 2 more caps on the ABS unit. So it's saying, hope you can see it, it's saying VR and HR. So vorne, hinten, front and back. So on the right side, the driving right side, there is the front one, and this is the rear. So, and there is a lot of fluid here inside as well, but let's drain it at the calipers first. So what you're gonna need is an 11mm wrench, and I just attach the hose here like this. No, actually let's do it this way. So I contract this one and then attach the hose. So now open it. And you see there's some stuff going already, so you need to pump your brake a bit. So I think nothing going out of here anymore. So let's close this side for the moment. Let's do the other side. So again, attached this hose here, and let's open it up. So the fluid comes right away, but we can pump as well. This one is not super handy because it's on the wrong side, but there is nothing in this caliper, not much, because we already emptied the other side. So there's like a distribution thingy here. We'll have a look at it later. So let's do the rear. So for this one we will actually need a small 8mm wrench. So same procedure. Let's pump the brake. So let's go on the ABS unit. There are two caps. Let's clean it up first. So here you would need the same wrench as on the front brake, 11mm. Attach my thingy again. So let's do the front first. No fluid. That's interesting. So let's do the back now. Let's pump it a bit. Yeah. So you see, in this system, everything is here in the back actually. Funny enough. And you want to have as less fluid in the system as possible. I think that's all. So yeah, the old brake fluid. Tasty. Look at this. So the old fluid really doesn't look that good. So now let's remove the brake lines. So for removing the brake lines, first we need to remove this front fender, because there is like a distribution thingy here underneath. It's Inbus again, HX5. I think I need to hold it on the other side. Yeah. Get it out. Oh, again. There is a washer and this thingy here on the other side. So that's how it looks like. So same procedure. I think it's better to hold it with a wrench. Yeah, it should be 10mm. So again, the same one. There are clamps for the brake lines here. Just rubber clamps like this. So just like this. So yeah, there is like yeah, some kind of thing inside, but I cannot reach there, so I'm removing the front wheel. And you can do it actually with the included tool. Yeah, we first need to loosen the axle. Let's try it. So this one is loosened now. So also in good condition, and then you need to loosen those two. This one here and also the one on the other side. You will need the HX6. Hi Aloy. Technical inspection again. So and number 2. You really should be able to pull it out now, but you need some kind of thingy that you can put in here to pull it out. It's moving around actually, so I'm using the screwdriver. So let's have a look if I can wiggle it out. Yes. So that's the axle. So cover for the bearings, don't lose it. So let's pull out the axle. So axle is removed, and now the bike will go on the back. So the wheel is loose now. On this side there is a thingy that counts your kilometers actually, so you need to carefully remove it. So, and then when reattaching, it needs to go with this thing in here, but this thing is actually counting your kilometers. Very old system, but yeah, why not? So you see me wiggling around with it, but you will not be able to remove the front without removing the brake calipers. So we need to remove the brake calipers as well. So as always, small thing that you need to do with the fender here to do the brake lines, but you need to disassemble like half of the bike. So that's why take your time when you're doing service like this. To remove the brake calipers, you will need to use the biggest tool that you have in your toolbox included to the bike. So look, probably was never removed. No way. So guys, I was not able to take it off with a small wrench, so now the heavy artillery here. It's HX8, if you're wondering. So yeah, let's have a look. And now it's much easier this way. So ideally you do this first and then remove the front wheel, but yeah, you always learn something new. So yeah, these ones are much tighter than on the right side. So take them out. So you want to do a small thing like always, and then you end up actually taking apart half of the bike. So usually you need to wiggle around to put the brake pads to the side, but here it was okay. So, and the brake pads, they look quite good. So we don't really care about the brake lines because we are gonna remove them anyway. So left side, now the right side. So nice Brembo brakes on this bike. I have also Brembo on the F800, which are working quite nice. So that's this thing, and now we also need to, I will actually leave it in place. It's the ABS sensor, so I don't really need to remove it at the moment. So let's wiggle out the front wheel now. So that was easy, right? So front wheel, be careful not to actually do any damage to the ABS ring. So put the wheel somewhere. So, and now we should be able to remove the fender. So look what it is there. There's like a very small, I think 10mm. Let's have a look. So it's a 10mm indeed, and it goes all the way here. I have no idea why they put it inside, and it's super flimsy. Cannot really see it properly, so really flimsy. So now the fender is removed and we have access to this brake fluid distribution thing here, and there are 3 brake lines attached here, 1, 2, 3, and that's like 60% of the work actually, because there are all in all 5 lines. So Aloy is really tired of all of this stuff. I'm also a bit tired, but it's not as hot as yesterday. So yeah, she's taking care of the fuel tank. Huh? So you know, the first question you're confronted with is which line does go where, and yeah, I will show you, because I had the same question. So there are 3 lines that have this thing is here on both sides. See that? And there are 2 lines that have this metal thingies on this side, and this thingies on this side. So let's start first with the metal things, with the metal ones. So you have one that is like the outer screw, and we have one with the inner screw. So the one with the outer screw actually goes in the back here, into the back. It goes into the back, and the one with the inner screw goes here. So there is another distribution thingy here, so it goes from this distribution thingy to the front brakes. So that's the lower one. So that's for this with the metal thingies, and this on this side. So that's clear. So what about the rest? Aloy, thanks for taking care of everything. So for the rest, you have 3. They're almost identical, but 2 of them, they're exactly the same. So those I used for the brake calipers. So those lines go here in here. So the left brake caliper, the right brake caliper, so they go in here. And this one, the last one, it's actually a bit longer than these two. You see? It's a bit longer. So that goes to the front brake here. So this attaches, I think, this way. Yeah. So that attaches this way here. So let's start with the first line, and we start from the top to the bottom. And the first line we're going to replace is this here, that goes from the front brake lever down to here to this distribution thing. So there is a cap here, and we're removing it. So a cap, and you need a 14mm wrench for that. And it goes pretty easy. So there are 2 washers on the bottom and on the top of the screw. So you can see that. Hope you can see it. That's how it looks like. Not much brake fluid here. So 2 washers, and the screw is actually, it has a hole inside. So this hole needs to be like in the middle of this attachment. So that's why you take these washers, and that's why there are a lot of washers included in the new set. So let's put it aside. To the lower part. Now so on this one there is actually 1 washer. No, there were 2. The second one just fell down. There it is. So the same thing. 2 washers here, and the screw with the hole. So you see, if you align it like that, then the hole is pretty much in the middle of this thing here. Okay, keep losing the washers, but I will take the new ones anyway. But those I will keep for later on. You always need some stuff in your garage. So that's the upper bolt, that's the lower bolt. Let's have a look at the brake line. No clue how it looks inside, but yeah, for a 27-year-old line, not so bad. Yeah. So people say they disintegrate from inside, and then they have some kind of particles inside, and then they go all the way to the ABS unit and they destroy some stuff. So yeah, and it can be security relevant, because then your brake is just blocking. So I discovered another thing here. You see, so this stuff is also disintegrating. It's just, yeah. So I need new line wraps, actually. New, let's say, electricity line wraps, but the lines themselves, they look good. It's just a wrap that is disintegrating. So really strange. I will remove some stuff here and I will put some gaffer tape for the moment. So yeah, nah. So let's put some gaffer tape here. So let's attach the new line, and let's take two washers from our washer collection here. It's new washers. Let's compare the old line and the new line. So the old line connector is actually a bit thicker. See that? So the diameter is exactly the same from the two. So let's fit the first one, and I already did some videos and I'm just redoing it now because I finally understood how to fit it properly. So I will show you. So first start with the upper one. So just fit the upper one. If you will fit the lower one first, then you will need to wiggle around a lot with the upper one. So just fix it here. It's always washer, connector, washer, and the bolt goes inside. So actually you think that it's the wrong way around, because if you're here, then it's like this, and it should be something like this, and you think that the line is not the right one or whatever. So what's wrong with that? So what you want to do is just turn it all the way to the right, and then you will see that it fits perfectly. So the line just goes up and it should fit perfectly, as you see. So let's attach it. So, and yeah, the old thingy here, you see how much the difference is between the diameter of the old one and the new one. So what I will do is just to remove this old thingy here, just put a zip tie, because they move together. It's the electrical connection, I think, so it needs to be a bit loose as the old one. So let's try to do it this way. So while I was doing the first line, Aloy just found a place here at the fuel tank. Yeah? She's taking care that there is no leakage from the fuel tank. So we're going to do the next line, and it's the one going from here down here to this. I learned that it's called Manifold, so the distribution thingy, as I called it before. So there are some things that are tied up with zip ties again, so carefully remove the zip tie, because I think that's the ABS cable that is attached there as well. So 14 millimeter. fluid, but not much. So again, a bolt with 2 washers. So let's do it. So I need to remove this bolt here, this one here. So it's screwed into there, into this connection that has the metal pipe here. So, and you detach this whole thing here. So actually also doesn't look that bad, but you never know what's inside. Cannot look inside. So let's fit the new line. As you see, it's a bit different. This is like a double thingy here. This is just one, and there are no washers, and you should just screw it in. So, but you need to screw the whole line here. The new one. I hope you can see it. So let's do it. Yeah, very easy. No washers needed here. So that's tight. Now do the lower part. The bolt. Yeah. So you go at this manifold and attach the new line. So it will also move around a bit. So the old line was going from the left. This one will go from the right, but it doesn't really matter because you cannot screw it in differently, so it needs to go this way. So that's all. Let's tighten it up a bit. So just check if it works when you move your steering. All good. So again, this is the line that goes up there. You cannot fit it differently, you just need to screw it in here. I will zip tie it later. So let's do these 2 lines. Hello there. Very nice in the shadow of the fuel tank. So we have this manifold and we need to fit these 2 new lines here to the left and to the right brake caliper, and we will start with the right one. Where is my 14mm? So here we go. It's pretty straightforward. Just hold it down. So just remove it. So there is not much brake fluid at all here. So again, that's how it looks like. So actually, yeah, not that bad. So you have like this angled thing and this angled but different. So this one is this way and this one is this way. So you can use this chance also to change the brake pads and so on, but those are still okay. I think it's easier to remove when the brake caliper is attached, but yeah. should have loosened them. The brake caliper attached. But okay. This way it also works. Not much brake fluid because we drained it. So again, a bolt and 2 washers. As you see, that is the old one and that is a new one. And yeah, left and right are identical, so first you just attach this one here. New washers. But you know what? I will attach the upper one first, because then it will be easier. So you need to have it like this, so that it goes down. So otherwise the telelever is in place or in your way. And now the lower one, the brake caliper itself. Pretty straightforward, but yeah, bit Sisyphus work, so take enough time for that. I probably should not let it hang in here like that, because it's really heavy. So let's take one of the bolts. So now let's do this side. It's pretty much the same, but there are some zip ties here. It's the ABS again, so be careful. There's also this thingy here. So the upper part. New washers. So again, it needs to be this way so that it goes down like a hockey stick. So let's do it the other way around here. So let's attach the caliper just loosely. I will remove it again when I'm installing the wheel, but I don't want to have it hanging around. So guys, it's lunchtime and let's have some muesli salad. So it's the nut salad, but there are no nuts inside. These plants are called muesli, or Feldsalat in German. So, small break and then we'll continue. So I refueled a bit with the muesli salad and let's get back to work. Let's fit it at the caliper and just put this thing again here on the ABS and the brake line, so don't forget it later on. So here, same game as before, 2 washers. The brake line actually goes this way. It bends a bit to the back, and then it goes to the front again, and then you have this built-in bend in the connector. There's like a pin. This is meant to hold this whole thing in place when you actually tie it down, but it doesn't rotate. See here? And to the other side, it's actually on the other side, because you tie them always to the right. So 4 lines done, and 1 line is left. That's this line that we need to fit for the rear brake. So brake line number 5. So that brake line goes from here back to the caliper, and funny enough, this one from the brake fluid cylinder is not included in the Spiegler set, so but it still looks good, so probably I will replace it later on. We need to remove this line here, and yeah, Elo is back. Hello there. Again, lots of zip ties here. It's always the ABS sensor. Let's remove it on the caliper side first. So there is a bit of brake fluid coming out. Let's tidy it up a bit. So whole brake fluid, and it's again the same. There are 2 washers, so tidy it up a bit here. Brake fluid. So let's remove this one here. Halo is doing inspection of the wrench. Yeah, wrench inspection. So this one is actually a bit flimsy. So we need an 11mm wrench, the 14. Now, so that's how it looks like. It's a connection like this. So it's screwed on top of this metal thingy here. So again, there are no washers. So guys, let's fit the new brake line. That's the new, and that's the old. Do you see how much smaller the new one is? Quite crazy. So the old one from outside, still okay. This way. So what you want to do actually is that this one ends up in this position here, so like hockey stick up. And we have it in place already. Just tighten it by hand at the moment. So there are 2 pins again, left and right, and this whole assembly just stops there when you're tightening it up. Yeah, you're ready with the line in the back. So I will tighten now all of the lines and refit my front wheel. So that's the old lines. We'll just keep it for the moment, just in case. But yeah, 5 lines removed, 5 lines refitted. Not a very hard task, but very time consuming. And yeah, as you see, the bike looks more and more tear down now. So now let's do the zip ties. So when you're working on this bike, be prepared to have lots of zip ties. So guys, what we need to do next is actually fit back the wheel and tighten all up. And I just looked it up in the in the booklet. So the brake calipers, it's 40 Newton meters. The axle itself is 30 Newton meters, and the axle side, whatever fasteners, how do you call them, 22 Newton meters. So that's what we are gonna use for tightening it up. So let's go. I'm gonna tighten these things first with the manifold, and then I'm gonna fit the fender. So that one is tightened up. So in these ones, they are kind of moving when you tighten them up, so just push on them in order for them not to move. So yeah, you see that they are snagged to the upper part here. So now this one. Oh, it's 15. I should do it with the 14. So this one will snag itself because it's tightened in the right direction. But this one, actually at the left brake line, you need to hold in place a bit. Now let's do the freaking fender. So you want the ABS cable to be inside here. So there is this attachment. So you see this manifold is actually covered by the how do you call it? By the fender. So that's why you're not able to access it later on. I think that's the most flimsy part in the whole project so far. This front fender. Oh my god. Let's try to fit this screw here. Yeah. Have it inside, so it's the 10 millimeter, by the way, again. So the brake lines are actually the easy part. The fender is not. Guys, we did it. The fender is there. So now let's attach these two side holders of the fender. So it's HX5 on the outside and a 10 millimeter on the inside. So let's do it. Fit this thingy here. So outside HX5, inside 10 millimeter. So let's remove the brake calipers again. So, because without them or with them, you'll not be able to fit the wheel. So this brake caliper, I'll just hang it around for a second. So now let's fit the wheel. So on this side you have the cover for the bearing. Just goes on like that. So I'm greasing the axle new, and I'm always taking this bearing grease, the same as I use for my bicycle. So now just hold the wheel and put this thing inside. So now it's fixed on one side. I think it's better if you do it not alone. You have this thingy that is counting the revs and everything. So not the revs, the kilometers actually. So you see this notch here. So just like that. Hope you can see it. Inside the wheel it has two more of these things, and they need to go outside here. So that's how you rotate your odometer. It will not sit if you have not done it properly. So there's only one position. So now lift the wheel. If you're doing it alone, just call for some help, really. Now, perfect. Whew. You have the axle inside, and you have this counter thingy with this bolt here, with this notch. New gloves, as the other ones are full of grease. Now you put in this nut here, the axle nut. So, and it's should be tightened with 30 Newton meters. So I already put here 30 Newton meters on my wrench, and it's the same size as the car wheels, so 17. So 30 Newton meters. Now we need to tighten those with 22 Newton meters. So it's an HX6 and 22 Newton meters. So I already put 22 Newton meters on my wrench. Oh yeah, I just put this one here just in case. Perfect. Now we need to fit the brake calipers and check the ABS sensor. Just like that with mine. So they should be fitted with 40 Newton meters. It's just like meditation. Just spend the whole day doing some stuff on your bike. Just do it by hand first. .40 Newton meter. So now the other side, same procedure. So lower one. So 40. And 40. And now we need to check the ABS. There is like a white marker. I hope you see it. And this white marker you put to the ABS sensor, and then you measure it with this thing here. So one side is saying minimum and the other side is saying maximum. This white marking is the how do you say, is the thickest point. Minimum goes in, maximum actually doesn't go in, so that's how it should be. Funny thing, from the toolbox they don't include it anymore on the new bikes. Now let's tighten up the rest of the screws from the brake lines. So we tightened up down here everything, so at this manifold. So let's tighten up again at the calipers. That one is tight. So yeah, it would be better with something like this, but I don't have the number 14 for this. The biggest one I have is 13. Aloy, hello. What's up? There are some people running around. So that one is tight. Yeah. Oh, some motorbikers. What's this way here as well? Check. So after you have fitted all the stuff, just check that it can move freely all around. Nothing snags anywhere. So yeah, looks good. So there were some zip ties as well, but I will attach them later. So let's fasten these ones. So you can hear the church. That's how it works actually in Switzerland. Church bells, they are still around all the time. And they ring whole day and night. So there was a referendum, I think, where some people just went to the court, but they said it's part of the culture, so it stays. Yeah, I already tightened it. So let's tighten up the last one. I think I already tightened it, but yeah. Yeah, it's tight already, and there is a zip tie as well. Let's put in the new brake fluid, and let's flush the whole thing again. Yeah, by the way, I forgot this rubber thingy, so I just put it in here. Yep. So the bike looks a bit more complete now, with the front wheel. Hello, Aloy. So now let's fill the new fluid, .4, and yep, fresh and new fluid. I will try to do it over the ABS block first. So on the right is the front, and on the left is the back. VR, HR. Vorderer Regelkreis, hinterer Regelkreis. So front braking circle and rear braking circle. So let's fill it up. I hope I have enough fluid. So what you want to do later, you want to get rid of the air, so you just gently pull it like this. So let's say when this braking click starts, I hope you can see the bubbles. You can do it very long, actually, until there is no air the brake cylinder and the lever actually. If you push it, then there is brake fluid coming back from this hole there, and oops, you don't want to have any air, but don't push too hard. And we can start with this thing here. It's a flimsy work now. Pump, open. You see all of the old stuff here. That's good. Close. Pump. Open again. So you want to do it until there are no bubbles. Do a refill of the canister from time to time, because you don't want it to have any air, otherwise you'll need to start the whole thing from the beginning. I can see that's already the new fluid, because it has a different color than the old one, but there are still some bubbles. So now fill up our soda stream again and get rid of the old brake fluid. Look at this. Now let's do exactly the same, but the front brake caliper. So we still have fluid in there. Very good. I need to fill it up more. Yeah, look at this. Do it until you have no bubbles. It will take quite a while till we get off the air out here. So I was doing it on the right caliper, so let's do the same with the left caliper. The right caliper is just a bit more convenient because you have your lever on the same side. So look, oh, that's the old one. That's a lot of air here. I think I will not have enough brake fluid to flush it properly. Yeah, that's all. My brake fluid is almost gone. So today is Saturday and it's Switzerland. Yeah, you see, lots of bubbles. So you do this basically back and forth until you have no bubbles at all. This vacuum thing is actually not bad. You don't need to pump so much.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Looks a bit like art. You can watch this forever. But it's all new brake fluid already. You see, it's not the old one. But to flush the system, you actually need more than just one brake fluid. So it's 250 milliliter. I think you need like 500 milliliter So I'm out of brake fluid. That's not good. Need to get more brake fluid somewhere. So it's not really an easy endeavor to get some brake fluid at 8:30 in the evening in Switzerland on a Saturday. So I'm just driving from gas station to gas station trying to get it. So I got a new DOT 4 brake fluid, twice 500 milliliters. Yeah, highly recommended. Agrola, they had it, and the other gas stations around, they didn't have it. So let's go back to work. So now, as I have 1 full liter of brake fluid, vacuum again. So the smell is like fish oil. Yeah. By the way, I have a potato here, blooming. Another art stuff. So with a normal change, you will not have as many bubbles, because you don't change the brake lines. Tedious work, but very important. So funny enough, the ABS unit looks good, because there is no air coming through. You see, it's just brake fluid.
3:28 a.m.
So guys, yeah, from dawn to dusk, so it's already quite late, and the sun is just going down, and I'm still at the bleeding process here. There's still some bubbles, but I want to finish the front today. So by the way, that's how the garage looks at night. With some Christmas lights.
7 hours later.
So guys, good morning, and let's continue our brief, very short brake lines replacement project. So cheerio. You know, I came out here in the morning and saw the bike and smelled the bike and all of this, yeah, how do you say, bike smell? You all know what I mean when you're riding a bike, and it directly reminded me on my grandfather and his old Java back in Russia, and yeah, it was the same. So his Java was in the garage, the red old motorcycle, and yeah, a bit nostalgic today morning. So let's continue. So guys, it was quite late yesterday, but I think I succeeded in bleeding it bubble free. You see, there are no bubbles coming out here, only the fluid. So you see, it's bubble free, just the fluid is coming, no bubbles. So that's how it should be. Yeah, it takes a lot of time to do it if the system has a lot of air, as in the case with replacing all of the lines. So yeah, you need to be really patient. And that's what you want to see at your calipers. Only the brake fluid coming through, no bubbles, just the brake fluid. Just the brake fluid coming through, no bubbles. So do it at every brake caliper and at the ABS unit. So now, after you've done the bleeding procedure, just close the bleeding points properly, and you need to have the brake fluid a little bit below maximum. So if you have new brake pads, then you fill up to maximum. So basically if I would fit new brake pads, they would push back the fluid and it will go to maximum again. So that's how you do it. That's how you do the front. And yeah, guys, the brake system is the most important system in your motorcycle, so do it properly, please. So now let's fit the cap, the made in West Germany cap. So front brake brakes done. So guys, also using the opportunity to clean up my front wheel here. So the rim, it's a bit dirty, but you can do it all tidy. So I need to go to the technical inspection next week. So, and here in Switzerland they like very clean bikes. So let's do it. It's so hot today that even Aloy is chilling inside today. Huh? Much better temperature here. So guys, let's do the rear brake. So the canister is here. Let's fill it up. So let's bleed the ABS unit first. Same procedure. So the same as with the front, you need to pump, open, pump, open. So this is what you want to have, just the brake fluid coming through without any bubbles. So the ABS unit is okay without bubbles. Properly tighten it and put the cap. So let's bleed here, 8mm one. So bubbles, let's pump. So this one is the front, you can just pump through. If you have this suction thingy, just pump it through, you don't need to open and close it. But at the ABS unit it's different. So I guess the ABS unit is producing the whole pressure here, so that's why it's not really flowing back. So guys, it's not enough to do it at one place, because the whole system was with air, so you need to do it back and forth. The ABS unit in the back, yeah, so to get rid of all the air. So that's how you want this whole stuff to look like, that you just have the braking fluid here with no bubbles. And you will also register it in the pedal, so it will be more hard to push it. And fill this thing up to a little bit below maximum, because, or in the middle, because we also don't have new braking pads. So let's close this thing. There is this membrane again. Put it inside, then you put the cap. The original Brembo cap. So guys, that's how you do the brake line replacement and the whole flush of the system. So honestly, it was a bit exhausting, so lots of time for the flushing, but yeah, you need to do it properly. It's for your own safety. So in the next episodes we will do all of the fluid change. So this one here for the rear, then the gearbox, and also the engine oil. And I will also refit the alternator V-belt. That's all for today, and see you in the next episodes. Cheerio.